What's up, guys? This is Z-House from Gun Gamers, and yes, at long last, another video. I know, I'm gonna kill the channel with all these long gaps between videos, but the channel's a hobby. We do this for fun. So if you're still here enjoying it, and I have not killed the channel for you yet, then this goes out to you. Cheers. Thank you very much to our channel's benefactor for this bottle of Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel, a pour of which I'm enjoying right now. You know who you are. I'm not sure if you wanted us saying your name, but I'll say your first name. Thank you very much, Jeff. Fantastic. Always super cool to get to taste a bottle like that. Anyway, ironically enough, for the opening being largely about bourbon and killing the channel, one of the things I've wanted to redo, this is a video we did a few years ago, but one of the videos I've wanted to redo is our take on airsoft and fitness. Now, you might remember this video from, I think we did it in 2017. You might remember this video. It was Corey and I, and we were talking about, our takeaways of the importance of fitness, how fitness benefits your airsoft games, and things you can do to get started. And I would like to redo that video because I feel like since then I've learned a lot more, and there's some things I would want to say differently. And then there's some other things that I think stand up really well that I just want to reiterate. So, without further ado, let's get right into the subject. Now, first of all, fitness is something I'm pretty passionate about, on top of airsoft, death metal, whiskey, cigars, all that other type of stuff. I work out at least 3 days a week. That's one of my personal goals for myself. It's a standard I hold myself to. And that comes from my own personal history. I used to be what I would call morbidly obese, and I was able to lose a huge amount of weight. I think at my peak, it was like 120 pounds down, because my peak weight was about 350 pounds. And then I got down to 225 at my lowest. Right now, I'm sitting just about 250 pounds. And I actually think I look somewhat better than when I was at 225. But that's all related to, your own goals, standards, what you want to do, and all that type of stuff. So my weight has also fluctuated over the years, and this is one of the things I think helped me learn a lot more. One of the main things I think people overlook when they talk about airsoft and fitness is a lot of people will talk about specific exercises, specific training, specific types of things that they need to do for airsoft. It's like, well, if you want to be fit enough for airsoft, then you got to do this movement so you can hold your gun better. You got to do this movement so you can ruck more. You got to do this movement so you can support the weight of your load-bearing gear. And while there is some benefit to that type of specificity when it comes to training for sport, the fact is airsoft is a hobby. And with airsoft being a hobby and not really a competitive sport that you're playing professionally, super regularly, multiple times a week, most airsofters, I think, need to focus a lot less on splitting hairs and getting into the minutia of exactly what they should be doing for airsoft, and instead be focusing on finding good, sustainable habits that they can build on for the rest of their life. Because airsoft should be, like any hobby, airsoft should be this much out of this much life. And your fitness affects this much out of this much life. And then there's airsoft in here. And that's where I think a lot of people get hung up. People start splitting hairs, people overcomplicate things, people fall down a lot of beginner's traps and a lot of rabbit holes. And my hope is that I'm going to be able to help you avoid some of those. To start with, do you need to lift weights? Do you need to do specific types of cardio, HIIT versus steady state? Do you need to count your macros and your protein? Should you follow this specific diet and exclude these type of foods? Should you do clean eating? Slow the fuck down, chill out, and I'm going to tell you the straight facts as I see them. Most people who are not looking to be competitive athletes or bodybuilders simply need to get enough sleep, get enough activity in a week that you're actually getting your heart pumping and you're moving your muscles. You need to have good eating habits that include a variety of nutritious foods, and you need to keep yourself stress-free and enjoying these things. And that's pretty much the size of it. Oh, and drink enough water. Can never forget drinking enough water. Come on, man, right? For me, most people just need to do that. Find an activity you enjoy enough that you can do it enough per week that it has a beneficial effect on your stamina, endurance, and muscularity. And whether or not you're incorporating resistance training or incorporating very specific, splitting hairs types of cardio, to be honest, most people just need to go for a fucking walk. A lot of us sit in an office all day. A lot of us sit in an office all day and work at a desk, leaning over on a computer, and we need to go outside and move. That's about the size of it. Airsoft can be part of that, but unless you're playing Airsoft multiple times a week, you should also be doing other things. Go for a hike, jump rope, get on a treadmill, play basketball, join a summer sports league, just something. Find some form of physical activity you enjoy that benefits you and keeps you moving and keeps you active. I believe the CDC or the FDA, I forget which of those two government agencies, they recommend about 150 minutes of movement per week for the average person. And you know what? I think that's about spot on. I think if you go for 3 times a week, go for 3 days a week, getting some form of exercise. I think that's a very reasonable goal. Most of us can achieve that. If you do, an hour, 3 days a week, that's 180 minutes of exercise. That's great. That's more than a lot of people are getting. Now, obviously, I like weight training. I like lifting. I think that that's something I find very rewarding, but you don't have to. Can you do weight training and is it going to benefit you? Yes, absolutely. With Airsoft, weight training is going to make it where you have an easier time carrying your gear. If you're doing 40-hour milsim games, it's going to make it where you have an easier time carrying your ruck. You're going to be able to support heavier weapons. You're going to be able to carry more. Obviously, there's a lot of benefit to that. You're going to build muscular endurance. That's going to benefit you. So do I recommend that you incorporate resistance training if it's something you're interested in? Absolutely. Am I going to sit here like every bodybuilder on TikTok and tell you that you need to pound TRT into your eyeballs and bench 400 pounds or you're not a person? No, because that's stupid. Just because I know people are going to ask me what I do personally, because I've actually gotten some comments on this in other videos. Personally, my own weekly routine for fitness looks like this. I track my calories in MyFitnessPal. I do a loose macro counting. I try to keep, within a reasonable range of my goals, avoid indulging in oversaturated fats, avoid indulging in too many processed foods. I try to get enough protein every day, which for me is usually in the realm of anywhere from 180 to 220 grams of protein a day. A lot of people think you need 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, but that's not really borne out in any studies. It's always been kind of arbitrary. There was one study that I'm going to cite real quick below where they actually found that Olympic level athletes stopped seeing any benefit above 3/4 of a gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you think you need gobs and gobs and gobs of protein to be super fit, you might actually need to pare back your expectations somewhat. I mean, shit. Alan Thrall has a really good video about his diet where he is this jacked, shredded, super competitive strongman, and someone's like, bro, you don't get enough protein. And he says, wow, man, can you imagine if I only got that extra 30 grams of protein a day? What a difference that would make. So I personally follow a loose macro split with calorie counting. I do lifting 3 days a week. I do a push-pull leg split. I found that for me, that gives me really good results. I know a lot of people are going to argue that it's not the most optimal split, but it's a split I enjoy, and I found that it works really well for me, and I can stick to it. A lot of people will get super up in arms about, bro, I gotta optimize every little aspect of my routine. And it's like, okay, dude, you're picking up heavy things and putting them down. Don't overcomplicate it. Unless you're a competitive powerlifter or bodybuilder, find something you can stick to and just do it. Most people don't even know how optimized or not optimized their programs are because a lot of people will just hop programs and not even stick to one thing long enough to see if it actually works. So find what you like, find what gives you good results, and if it works, go for it. If you enjoy it, go for it. I do push-pull legs, works great for me. Then in terms of cardio, my main cardio is hiking. I luckily live in a spot where there's a lot of really good hiking within a 15 to 20 minute drive of me. So I'll go hiking at least once or twice a week. I usually shoot for 2 days a week for hiking, and if I can't make a drive out to hike, I'll just walk around my neighborhood. But I shoot for at least 2 days a week of cardio, and then 3 days a week of lifting, and it's about the size of it. It's not crazy. It's not anything nuts. I have not reinvented the wheel. I obviously would probably look a lot more impressive if I had reinvented the wheel somehow. But for the life I'm trying to live, it gives me results I'm pretty happy with, and I certainly cannot complain. So there you go. That's the e-house secret to the e-house dad bod. Then when it comes down to eating habits, nobody likes to talk about eating habits. Nobody likes to talk about diet, and everybody's got their own opinion. Let me put it this way. Most of us know when we're not eating healthy. Maybe there's all these different arguments and all these different opinions on what a really healthy diet should look like and how you optimize it. You know, do you go vegan, carnivorous, omnivorous, all that type of stuff. But the fact of the matter is, eat your vegetables, get enough fiber, get enough micronutrients, avoid overly processed foods frequently, and eat garbage in moderation or cut it out as much as possible. Try to eat, calories in, calories out is the ultimate math of how you lose or gain weight. Every single different philosophy that splinters off from that all comes back to that core thing. Eat more, gain weight. Eat less, lose weight. Eat just the right amount, maintain weight. Figure out how much you need to eat for whatever your goal is. Eat that consistently. Find a diet that is healthy and rich in as many unprocessed plants and lean meats if you're not vegan. If you're vegan, then look up complete protein combinations. Figure out how you can get enough protein in a day that are complete amino acids. You often have to combine grains, beans, and legumes, things like that. But it can be done. And just look up and do your research. Figure out a good, healthy diet that you can stick to. And stick to it consistently. Have a cheat day every now and then. Have a cheat meal. Go on vacation and enjoy yourself. Live your life. If you're not stepping on stage to compete at the Olympia, there is no reason you need to be shredded with a six-pack. Is it awesome? Totally. I clearly am not disciplined enough for that, so I'm not going to pass judgment if you're not either. But eat well, eat healthy, and eat for your goals. That's it. There's all kinds of different ways to do it, but you have to do it. Sleep. Get enough sleep. A lot of us, I know, we stay up late, we're playing video games, we're working on projects, we're talking to our friends, we're messing around on our phones, we're watching TV. It's so tempting to stay up late and then only try to cruise by on 5 or 6 hours of sleep. 7 or 8 hours of sleep a night, 8 hours as much as possible, is going to benefit you immensely. I remember there was a period of time where I was trying to coast by on 5 or 6 hours of sleep at night. And I noticed one of the main effects I had was I was training at this point 6 days a week, which ironically now I have better results training 3 days a week, but that's all down to your goals, your workout split, what you're doing, how you train. But at this time I was training 6 days a week, and I had been seeing really good results doing it. And then my numbers started to go down. I was losing progress on a lot of lifts, even though I was putting in the intensity, I was putting in the work, I was getting enough protein, my diet was on point. And I really noticed I was, doing pull-ups and my forearms were killing me after just a few reps. And normally I was not having that issue. My back would give out before my forearms would. Well, weak grip strength is a sign of inadequate recovery. So if your forearms get super sore and your grip strength isn't what it should be, look at your sleep pattern. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting 7 or 8 hours of sleep a night? Your recovery is one of the main pillars of fitness. A lot of people think that if they just go hard and push through it, they can do it. You cannot. You can only run on limited sleep for so long. I know that there's going to be a million people in the comments now who say, I only get 5 hours of sleep at night and I'm just fine. To which I would challenge you, try getting 8 hours of sleep for a few weeks and see how much more just fine you feel. And that also goes for recoveries with workouts. If you're doing weight training, if you're doing rucking, if you're doing basketball, whatever it is, have non-training days, have rest days, have days that you don't go and go your hardest and go try to 100% on whatever you're doing, because ultimately you're gonna injure yourself if you overextend yourself and overexert yourself. Make sure that you're achieving a good balance where yes, you train intensely with whatever you're doing, go harder than last time with whatever you're doing, progressively overload, try to walk further than last time, try to lift more than last time, try to play harder than last time, but always be ready to balance that out with, okay, now tomorrow I'm gonna either do something else to let that have a rest, or I'm just gonna take a rest day. And I'm gonna get 8 hours of sleep, eat healthy, and drink enough water. Make sure that all these things are in balance so that you're achieving the results that you need. Then, of course, we come to hydration. I go on and on and on about hydration ad infinitum, ad nauseum whenever I talk about Airsoft, and I'm gonna talk about it when I'm talking about fitness. Drink enough fucking water. Caffeinated beverages, alcoholic beverages, I know, irony. Caffeinated beverages, alcoholic beverages, things like that do not hydrate you. Caffeine is actually a diuretic. It pulls water out of your cells and helps dehydrate you. So if you want to make sure that you're hydrated, hydrate, drink water. Maybe incorporate a Gatorade and some electrolytes if you really need those. But straight up, H2O is the supplement you cannot take too much of to an extent that's reasonable. You can actually poison yourself with too much water if you try really, really, really hard. So, maybe shoot for 3 or 4 liters of water a day, depending on what your size is, how much water you need. But shoot for enough water that you are peeing clear, you're peeing regularly, and you feel good. Because you will notice, again, just like the sleep, maybe you say, well, I don't drink water and I'm just fine. Well, drink more water and see how much more just fine you feel. Then get 8 hours of sleep. Then eat a good, healthy, balanced diet. Then get enough activity. And I think you're going to figure out that you can feel a lot more just fine than however just fine you feel right now. And that was my experience. So that's why I'm so passionate about this, and that's why I'm talking about it. I know that a lot of this advice is super general, super entry level. There's so many resources on the internet in terms of getting fit, gaining muscle, getting stronger, going harder with rucking or running or anything like sprinting or basketball. There's all kinds of different opinions about diets and how should you do it? Should you do intermittent fasting? All that. Ultimately, boil all those down, and those are your main pillars. Recovery, nutrition, training, hydration. And that's about the size of it. There was one more pillar I mentioned earlier in the video that I'm totally forgetting, so I'm going to feel stupid and add a note for whatever I forgot. So, if you're looking for resources that I think are actually good places to start, I'm going to include a few links down below. Avoid beginner traps. Avoid anyone who promises miracles. Avoid anyone who says that you can change your entire body in 30 days. Basically, if Dr. Oz ever promoted anything, give it a pass, because that man is a charlatan and a scumbag and should absolutely be in prison, in my opinion. But just follow good common sense advice. You're gonna know if you're not being healthy. I hate to say it, I think you do. A lot of people say, I have no idea where to start. Well, when you're eating pizza 4 nights a week, come on. You know what's healthy and what's not, okay? So anyway, that has been my brief introduction to fitness. Not really much Airsoft talk in this video, but straight up, this is a topic that is relevant to Airsoft, But like I said, Airsoft is this much, your life is this much. Take care of yourself everywhere, in every aspect of what you do, and you'll notice the benefits on the Airsoft field when you can go harder, run faster, jump higher, carry more, and do better. And I don't have to explain beyond that, because then you'll notice those same benefits everywhere else in your life. And if you have any specific questions, leave those in the comments below. I'll do my best to respond to as many as possible. And in the meantime, this has been Eric from Gun Gamers, and I'm signing off. Peace. And once again, cheers. Thank all of you for your continued support of the channel. Thank all of you for keeping on watching, even though we're super erratic. There's a reason that we don't have a Patreon or any recurrent monetization thing with people paying us for content, let me put it that way. If you're going to Milsim West, the Saratov Resurgency, keep an eye out. You might just see me there.
You! Are you tired of being small, weak, and getting bullied at school? Are you trying to be a better bodyguard? Do you want the greatest pre-workout formulated by bodyguards for bodyguards? Then you need Riot Juice pre-workout with 180 milligrams of caffeine and 190 proof of grain alcohol per serving, guaranteed to get you the pump and the buzz that you need to get your workouts in and get your muscles up.
Thank you for watching this video from Gun Gamers. We hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed making it. Check the description below if you'd like to buy a t-shirt or a patch, and use the coupon code JUDY10 for 10% off of your next order at Amped Airsoft. Thank you again for watching, and praise Judy.